மாணவர்களின் சிந்தனைகளை வடிவமைக்க Institutions மாணவர்களின் தனித்திறமைகளை மேம்படுத்த SNS Institutions மாணவர்களை போற்றும் SNS Institutions கோவை.
This is R.Vijayakumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, SNS College of Technology. So this month we are going to see the video lecture series Renewable Energy Technologies. So first of all, we should know about renewable energy technology. What is meant by renewable energy? What is meant by energy? Energy is nothing but it will be helpful to do any kind of work. For example, when we are taking an example of electrical energy, that electricity will help to do such kind of works in all aspects. So and also the energy is classified into two types, renewable energy and the non-renewable energy. So major countries are used non-renewable energy sources, but we have a fear on that because in any one day or in any future cause it will be depleted. But when we are using a renewable energy, that means the energy source can be regenerated. It will be available on a nature. We can use enormous amount of renewable energy. So that's why it is called as a renewable energy. And also, what will be the environmental aspects when we are using a renewable energy systems? That will be discussed in this class. So first one, renewable energy systems are vital for global decarbonization and climate actions. Global renewable energy capacity grew 10.6% in 2023, addressing both their benefits and environmental considerations is crucial for a sustainable development. And benefits, that means reduced greenhouse gas emissions. Just take it as an example of a Delhi. So the Delhi, October to January, the Delhi is not a place to live in living things. So that much amount of carbon are polluted to the Delhi atmosphere. So displace fossil fuels, that means renewable directly reduce CO2 and other greenhouse gases. How renewable energy is going to reduce the CO2? When we are generating non-renewable energy sources, we need to burn the coals. This major 70 to 75% of the energy are satisfied from thermal power plant or a nuclear power plant. Thermal power plant, we are burning the coals, it will produce the major amount of CO2 emissions. So when we are using a greenhouse, when we are using a renewable energy sources, that will be reduce the CO2, that means reduced greenhouse gas emissions. And also the significant emission avoidance, that means solar PV and wind avoided 2.1 billion tons of CO2 in 2022. And also the Paris Agreement contributor, they are key to achieving global climate goals in 2030. Benefit number 2, reduced air or water pollution and resource conservations. So renewable energy system produce near zero air pollutants during operations. This avoids acid rain, smoke and respiratory illness linked to fossil fuels. They also decrease the demand for finite fossil fuels, preserving natural resources for further generations. Additionally, many renewables use less water than traditional thermal power plants, excluding large hydropower facilities. And near zero air pollutants during operation avoids acid rain, smoke and respiratory illness, decreased demand for finite fossil fuels, less water consumption than at thermal power plants. And land use and habitat dispersions. When we are using a renewable energy, we need a large footprints. Utility scales needs 5 to 10 acres per megawatt. Just imagine that. Wind needs 1 acre per megawatt. This can impact of large areas. So when we are implementing or when we are installing the renewable energy sources, we need a huge amount of land footprints needed. That will be affect the environmental conditions. And habitat impacts, large scale projects cause habitat fragmentation and loss. This affects local ecosystem and wildlife. When we are installing 1000 megawatts of solar power plant, we need 1000, that means 10,000 acres. So in 10,000 acres we need to demolish the forest and then ecosystems. And wildlife mortality, wind turbine cause bird and bird mortality. Estimates range from 140,000 to 5 lakh birds annually in US. And challenge number 2, raw material extraction and manufacturing footprint. So that means intensive mining. So requires a critical minerals like lithium, cobalt, rare earths and silicon. These are essential for batteries and solar PVs. So we are taking that incentive mining, it will impact the global. And mining cause habitat destruction, water pollution and high energy consumption. These environmental tolls are significant. And also the manufacturing footprint, production process for a PV cells are energy and water intensive. This adds to environmental burden. Ethical sourcing is a global supply chains is a key concern. And challenge number 3, waste management and end life uses. So when we are using a battery, it will be called as a green energy or a renewable energy. But at the same time, when the battery life completes, a recycling infrastructure is nascent. Less than 10% of lithium-ion batteries are recycled globally. Hazardous material exists in some components also. And wind turbine blades difficult to recycle due to compositive materials like fiberglass. This creates a growing waste stream. And solar panel waste, growing challenge of a end life of solar panel, 80 million tons are projected by 2050 globally. So this will be a huge impact. And mitigation environmental impacts, land use, manufacturing and waste material and biodiversity. And conclude that sustainable path for a net positive impact, address challenges, innovation and policy, and finally balance and preserve. So even though we are using a sustainable energy, we need to concentrate on both the side, positive side as well as negative sides. Thank you for watching.